What is up, everybody? And hopefully, hello to some of the book enthusiasts out there. This may be your first time watching me. Just want to say hi, welcome. I like to do tier lists, done a lot of movie ones, trying to expand into my other hobbies and interests. And as of last week, I have finished all of Sarah J. Maas's books up until now. Obviously, we're waiting for what's to come out next. And I feel, Sarah J. Maas is primarily a fandom for women. And I think that is a a misstep by the male audience because I think that when they hear it getting linked to smut so much, they don't realize the masterful creation of this multiverse she is creating. I saw something that said that the percentage of smut that's actually in all of the books combined is like 3 or 4% of the books. Um, and to be fair, guys, like, look, they just be fucking. I mean, that's what's wrong with that. um, with that being said, I'm going to do my best judgment of ranking the books from worst to best, in my personal opinion. Um, it's kind of tough. I think I fall sort of in line with most people. I would, well, actually, I don't know. I really don't know. The only person I talk to about these books is my wife. This is her favorite series. She is a book reading enthusiast. Last year, she cleared 100 plus titles, and she's already read, as of 4/4, 50, at least 52 books this year. And Actar is usually a reread every year for her. Um, I just finished Crescent City last week. Two mixed opinions. I will say this much. For me personally, I think Throne of Glass is my favorite, and then Actar, and then Crescent City. I feel like that could change as time goes on, just because we have a resolution of the story, up till now, with Throne of Glass, and I personally just didn't really care for the last two books in Actar, just in comparison to the first three, and then Crescent City is such a wildly different situation, but not, um, with compared to the other two. Now, I kind of went into this not knowing if I want to talk about all the book's details or just glancing over it, trying to stay spoiler free. Uh, it's tough. So, um, I do have a guide up just to help me. Um, 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 just to make sure that I get the books in, like, so I don't get like all the books mixed up, because obviously there's there's so many. Um, I just need to find the right one. I don't need a reading order. I mean, fuck it. We'll just jump into it. So I think for me, the worst one out of the list is a tie between Wings and Ruin or the third Crescent City book. Uh, I'm probably gonna go Wings and Ruin. Let me just make sure. No, that wait, hold on. I gotta pull up. Let me just pull up my Audible, because this was my biggest concern. And by the way, when I make these videos, I do not go in. I try to give my pure my purest thoughts. I don't go on a script. I try not to plan things out, and I just let it organically share my thoughts. And sometimes it kind of bites me in the ass. So my biggest thing is I just want to make sure that I don't get the books mixed up with what's in them. Because that will be a sin for the fan base, and I'm here to be friends and not to be villains. Okay, I am sorry. They almost did me dirty, and they got the books mixed up a little bit. So, Frost and Starlight or the third Crescent City book. Frost and Starlight is very much just filler. It's filler content. I thought it was funny, and there was some good character building and some cute stuff, and some, like, it was cool to see everyone be a little bit more human without as drastic of concerns. But that's the thing, is like there just wasn't a whole lot going on. And then with the third Crescent City book, it's not that it's bad. I just have a hard time with Crescent City in general because of the drastic change in, I guess, scenery. I love how everything's getting tied together. Again, I don't know how much spoilers we want to talk and how much I want to give away, but I just feel it's a little... I'll just come out and say the thing. My issue with Crescent City is I don't really like any of the characters. Like, I don't really resonate with anyone where I'm like, yeah, that's my guy, or that's my girl. Like, that's like I don't really have that in those books. Like, it just, and I feel like time and time again the main character's been lied to by everybody, and she's just like, oh, well, I guess we'll just keep going. Like, I don't know. I know there's a reason her character is the way that she is, and it's going to be played out, I'm sure, but I had a really hard time getting into that book. Really hard time getting in that book. So, let me pull up Throne of Glass in order so I don't get those mixed up. So the Assassin's Blade is the prequel, and then it just goes down this list, right? No, they don't have it in order. Crown, Midnight, Hair of Fire, Queen of Shadows, Empire of Storm, Tower of Dawn, Kingdom of Ash. Okay, so I did not read the tangent. My wife told me about this, and it's for anyone who is interested in getting into these books, make sure you do this. So, where Empire of Storm leads off, like finishes, and where Tower of Dawn starts are in two drastically different spots. Like, Empire of Storm is building up to just the craziest shit that's happening, and then they're like, hey, you remember that one guy? Well, he's doing shit over here at the same time, and it is very important, and then they're going to collide. But the whole book, there's nothing to do with the previous book. So some of the fandom has created, and I think it's funny, they've made printed versions where they literally tear out the pages of the books and make one mega book where you read it at the same time. Or there's stuff online where you can do bounce back and forth between the two books. With that being said, the momentum was killed so hard with Tower of Dawn for me that I was like, come on, man. Like, and I like Tower of Dawn as a book, but Jesus Christ, it was just about walking simulator. Let's just get them fixed. Like, come on, Kale, get your ass up. Like, let's fucking put a move on it. Like, I just didn't. I don't know. For me, from my perspective, it felt like there was some sort of contract thing where it had to be a certain page number or something, but God, there was a lot of unnecessary shit in that book. And then I am going to put Uh, even though I talked about the smut stuff at the beginning, I could not stand Nesta's character. I'm sorry. I just, and it's not like anything to do with anything in particular, but that whole book, I was like, come the fuck on. Like, grow up. Like, your sister, like, she hates her sister for putting him in the situation when all her sister did was go out and hunt to try and feed both of her other sisters and keep them from dying. She didn't ask to be put in this situation, right? And I feel like just I like the redemption arc and the growing of her character in the book, but I got so put off by the level of spice that gets jumped up in this book. Because like, and I like my spice. I like some spice, man. Like I'm, besides the point. And she makes a joke about it in the book about like taking the spice up a little bit, but I don't know. I couldn't really get into it, and I didn't care about Nessa's character, but the ending's crazy, and the ending has a lot of implications on what's going to continue to happen. And there's tie-ins into other books that are relevant in that book. So, like, if you cut out the first 60% of that book and then give me the last 40%, loved it. But the first 60%, I just couldn't. I care less. I do want to put this. I feel like I have to do the right thing here. I actually haven't read the Assassin's Blade novella. That's my bad. I have talked to my wife and read stuff about it. I just haven't got around to reading it, and I've been excited to do this tier list. So I just saw it there, and I was like, I better just get it out of the way now. Okay, after this, I think I'm going to put the original Throne of Glass book. The only reason why is you can definitely see that I think when she wrote this book, she was in high school or something. You can kind of see that coming through. And I say that very like, the book's good, but respectfully, it just isn't on par with the rest of her writing. But it's still really good. I still like it. I like it better than these books, just in a different way. Because Throne of Glass is my favorite. It's the start of the characters. I do actually like the kind of connection she makes with these people that she just doesn't quite understand yet. And there's kind of like the flirtatious, and then there's kind of a relationship, but realizing that it just isn't going to work out. And kind of just how fucking hard, like, she is a bad bitch from the jump, dude. And I don't know, it's just cool. It's severely outclassed compared to the rest of the books on this list. I think with that being said, I'll probably follow it up with Crown of Midnight. Still, they're just scaling better and better and better. Here, I had a lot of discussions about the Crescent City books. I think I'm in a very small, at least from what I've read, I think I'm in the minority when I say this, but I enjoyed the second book more than the first book. I think a lot of people are the opposite. The problem I have with the first book is, like, again, it's my problem with Crescent City in general, is I just didn't care about the characters. I don't like Bryce. I don't like Danica. I don't like Hunt. I don't resonate with any of the side characters. I don't resonate with the bad guys. The only people I was interested in was, why the fuck is her boss just able to turn people into animals all the time? Relevant later on. I just couldn't, I don't know. There was just something about it. And, like, without spoiling anything, like, you continue to find out that her friend, for XYZ reason why, just keeps hiding her, hides stuff from her, lies to her. I don't want to explain the plot too much. And it sucks because the book started out so crazy. I was like, oh, this book's gonna be insane. And then it just kind of going through the motions, like she's playing smarter than she is. Like I don't know. I told my wife, I was like, if you told me this was one of her first books she's ever written, I would have been like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But it's not. I was coming off of, like, within a 3 week span, I finished Empire's a Storm, Tower of Dawn, Kingdom of Ash, and then Frost and Starlight, Silver Flames, and then all the Crescent City books. Like, because I was working and I can listen to books, and I just pumped them out. So I think I'm going to put the Crescent City, the first book, at 9. And then I'm going to follow up with the second book at 8. There's some very deep cut conspiracy theories that go on that she literally talks about in this book that are relevant to our real life. And I don't know if she is just doing that for fun or if she's trying to say stuff. That's for a different video. I'm not going to get into it. It just revolves around understanding, like, is afterlife an evil thing? I'll leave it at that. And if we want to talk about it, we can talk about it somewhere else. Okay, now we get into the thick of it. I know that the haters and the people who say they couldn't get into Court of Thorns and Roses always just say the same thing about the first book. They're like, it's just a rewriting of Beauty and the Beast. I didn't even realize that one time when I read it for the first time. Like, I think my wife told me that after the fact. She's like, oh yeah, like, people say it's like a rewrite of Beauty and the Beast. I'm like, is it? Like, why? Because he can turn into a beast? Like, I don't know. This is a tough one because for me, I feel like these 3 are so good, these 2 are so good, and these 2 have their parts that are so good. I think I'm just gonna go. I mean, I'll spoiler alert. My number 1 is Kingdom of Ash. We'll get to it. But how we get there, I'm not quite sure. I think I'm going to put Queen of Shadow at 7. A little bit more slow, but still awesome. And then, oh, dude, I don't know. I really, 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 I don't know. I guess we'll go. I think I'm going to go here. And then here. Here. And then here and here. I think this is my list. I felt like the follow-up to Court of Thorns and Roses was great. It explains everything that's going on with Rhys. You see his character. You kind of start understanding that things aren't the way they seem they are. It kind of starts building up to the bigger thing. It's just a very well-written book. And honestly, everything up until Frost and Starlight, the Frost and Starlight isn't bad. It's just goofy. I don't understand what the point really was. And Silver Flames, like, the ending has a lot of implications. I don't know. It's tough to talk about these books because, like, I can't remember specifically all the details in each one of the books, and I don't want to spoil stuff, but this is my list. And I'll talk about Kingdom of Ash, okay? I only have one gripe with the book and the series as a whole, and I'll kind of explain that at the end. The one thing, and I get the chills thinking about it, The one thing that Sarah J. Maas does so fucking good in these books, and I wish that they could do an anime or some sort of like visual representation, but like the way that people show up in the moment is so good. Like, it's just so good. And the whole entire Kingdom of Ash book is riddled with those moments, and the whole time you're like, "Oh, they're fucked. Everyone's dead. Everyone's going to die." And then someone shows the fuck up. Like, it's so good. Now, my one gripe on the whole entire series that really frustrated me, but I will say that it didn't change the fact that that's still my favorite book, is we build up and build up and build up the two bad people in the series. The two main antagonists, right? And they're bad motherfuckers and scary, and they're gonna wipe everything out and shit's gonna go bad. And then you don't really ever get to see too much of what they're really capable of. That was my only issue with the series, is like, I wanted to see like a full power fight between the main people, and we didn't get to see it. At least in my opinion, there was a little bit of it, but just not what I wanted to see. But like I said, there's a couple scenes in this book that are so iconic and so just people showing up and doing what they need to do, doing their fucking job, balling out, saving the day. It's so good. Now, I kind of want to talk about these books a little bit in general, and specifically to my male audience. Listen, they're fucking good. They are. Don't give your lady shit because she's listening to smut. Just fucking practice some of the smut that they listen to, dog. Like, bro, I'm just saying. Like, if your girl loves these books, give them a listen. A, they're fucking good. B, they're badass. The characters are badass. The action is badass. C, you might learn a little game. You might be able to spit a little shit to your lady and get a little bit of that, if you know what I mean. So that's my list. Like I said, if you enjoy my silliness, I do tier lists all the time. None of it's ever serious. I just joke around and share my opinion about stuff. Big fan of Sarah J. Maas. I know. I've heard both. Excited for more books to come. How she's going to continue to elaborate on these series and what it means for the bigger picture of everything. And yeah, let me know what you think. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.